Guys, the beauty of every dress depends on its necklines, and in this tutorial I'll be teaching us on how to cut different necklines exactly the way you're seeing on your screen right now. Welcome back to my channel, and if it's your first time here, you're welcome, and to all my returning subscribers, you're always welcome. So I have this paper already that I'll be using with other instruments, as you can see on your screen. So I have it about 5, so I'm going to bring out one. And I have the armhole just carve out. This is not a perfect armhole, but we just use this to illustrate what we want to achieve. So the first neckline we are going to start with is a joy neckline, which is a bit like round neckline. From there we'll move to V neck. For the wideness I use 3.5, and for the depth I use 3.5. This is okay for a medium sized person, but if it's a bit large you can use 4.5, both depth and the width. And you can see I just brought the line down together and I connected it together exactly the way you're seeing it. And now this is the easiest way, especially if you don't have your curve ruler and you want to use your freehand. This is a perfect way to get a very right joy neck, which is also known as round neck. So you can see I just came up from the angle about 1 inch and I connected it curvely down exactly the way you're seeing it. And you can see how I could able to use my hand to just trace the line together to curve it well. And if you have your curve ruler too, you can use that to do justice to that. And after that I just came to the shoulder parts to slant it down with 1 inch. And I connected it down to the neckline I have. And this is exactly how to cut joy neck. Yes, that's all for joy neck, as simple as that. And if you try this method, believe me, you're going to get a perfect round neck. I'll be using the same paper to cut out the V-neck. So from the point there, I came down to 7 inches downward. You can choose to use 7.5 or 8 inches, depends on, even 9 inches if you want cleavage to show. Then for the wideness I maintain 3.5 that I use for the joy neck initially. You can choose to use 4 or 4.5, but note something: when you're cutting out a v-neck, if the depth is really down, you should not make the wideness to be too wide. So now if my depth for this v-neck is like 9 inches, I'll just maintain like 4 inches for the depth, because it won't be nice if depth is down and the wideness is too large. It's not going to be balanced that way. So after I was done, I just cut out the v-neck. You can see how it is. I use 7 and I maintain 3.5. See, look at the neck now, how it is. You see how perfect it looks. Imagine if I had extended the wideness, it's not going to be that balanced. And after that I just couple back the paper to cut out the joy neck initially, since we could not cut it. So that's exactly how you just cut it out, as simple as that. So the next is queen harness neck, which is commonly known as queen's neck. So from the upper I came down to about 7 inches downward. Then coming towards the armhole part, I came down about 5 inches and I marked both. Then I extended the line from that 5 inches inward for like about 2.5. Then I went back to the starting point to mark out 3 inches, and I marked it there. And on that 3 inches I came down to the armhole part just to mark out the neck, the shoulder points. I slanted it down with 1 inch. After marking out my point, I was just cross-checking everything I have marked out, if the accurate measurement I marked is what I really wanted. And after that I came back to the line I marked towards the armhole area. I marked out like 3 inches from there, and I connected the line to upward to the mark I made, as you can see. Then the one at the center, I'm going to be using this to make a curved sweetheart neck, to connect it to the point I have there, exactly the way you're seeing it. And you can see practically I'm using my hand to sketch out sweetheart, so there is nothing there. You can see how I picked it from the down, just cuffing it upward, exactly the way you're seeing. Cutting out this is going to give you a perfect sweetheart, but if you want the side to be a bit slant, then you do this. Divide that line by 2, and on the center come in about 0.2 thereabouts, then slant it towards the each side. You can see exactly what I'm doing right now. So this is the difference. You can see the picture on your screen if you want it slant and if you want it a bit curve. So it depends on how curvy you want it to be. If you want it more curve, you can come in deeply about 0.5 instead of 0.2 that we used there. And after I was done, I just joined everything together, marking it, making the lines to be more prominent, and I just mark out an armhole. Although this was not really measured, the armhole was not a perfect measurement, so I just cut it out. We cut out the armhole initially, as I said, just for the basic of this neck tutorial. So if you are cutting your armhole, please cut it very well. And after I was done, you can see exactly where I cut out. Those drafts I already drew, that's exactly what I cut out, and there you can see how perfect it looks. So this is it. So you see, anything wider than this might not really be perfect for you. Then there's a trick about this queen's neck. Come to the edge exactly the way you're seeing me, remove about 0.2 or 0.5. This is going to help the neck to lap very well. I've tried this and it worked for me. We'll move now to the next neckline, and this next one is an asymmetric neckline. That one side is slanted and the other side is just perfect. So we'll start by first drafting out normal jewel neck, which is round neck. So I use the depth 3.5 inches, and for the width also 3.5 inches. So exactly the way you're seeing. So on that wideness part, exactly the way you're seeing, I'm going to make mark on the other side of the paper, or you can just as well just fold it so that it's going to make that mark and you'll be able to mark it there. So we're going to leave that for now. We'll move to the armhole part. Then I'm going to be marking out on the armhole part the part that I want it to be slant, and this depends on if you want it on the right side or on the left, but it looks more better on the wrong side, on the left side. Then I will just cut out the armhole. Remember I said we are not using the correct measurement for this armhole, we are just cutting it out to get the armhole angle that we want. And after I was done, I marked out 5 inches from there, and then I fold my fabric back, I fold the paper back just to cut out the other part so that we will understand perfectly what we are doing. So you can see already, if you want to cut the jewel neck, you can cut it out. You can see now. Then on the side, I came out about 0.5. I'm doing this because I'm cutting out the slant neck, and I'm going to be carrying it from there, slanting it straight to the 5 inches already marked on the armhole part. And this is just for the slant part that is going to just stop at the half of the armhole part. Then I increase the wideness so that it's going to lap well and it won't be inconvenient or choking you on the other side of the neck. Then for the one that we enter armhole part, so we just connect it. You can see how I'm doing the connection right now. Just connect it slantly exactly to the lines we already have on ground. So you can see the one that will stop at the halfway of the armhole. Then let's cut out for the one that will enter deeply. You can see the picture on your screen. This one entered deeply into the armhole, and some will pass the armhole downward a bit. So anyone you want, just take your time and do it. Then remember when we're cutting out, we didn't slant the neck, so I just remove about 0.5 to slant the shoulder rather. After I was done, please note something while cutting this style of neck. Remember to always put your dart. So the next one is keyhole neck. So keyhole neck could be in any form, but this one is going to have a swift dart and a kind of cape at the upper part. So I came downward about 7 inches and I rolled it towards the armhole part. And from that line, I came upward about 2 inches, and I'm also rolling it exactly the way you're seeing. And from there, this is just me trying to get a perfect armhole again. Marking out the second line is to guide me on not to pass 2 inches above, but I still want to have a prominent sweetheart neck. And after I was done cuffing it towards the armhole part, I came upward. I marked downward 2 inches. That is for the depth. Then for the wideness, I use 3.5. So you can see the depth of this neck is a bit small. Yes, the neck we are going to be cutting, the depth should not be too down because there's already an opening at the in between the neck. I slanted my shoulder. Then from that point, you can see where I placed my tape rule. I came down to about 2.5. Then from that 2.5, I'm going to be connecting it downward to the armhole cuff points I have there, exactly the way you're seeing it. Then I connected it downward like that. So I'll go ahead and cut it. You can see exactly what I'm cutting. So this part I'm cutting now is the part I'm going to be needing. Unlike the other ones that when we cut it out we just trashed. No. So you can see we already formed the first layer of the neck. Then to get the sweetheart neck, we can just go ahead and just cut it out and we'll get the sweetheart neck. But this kind of keyhole neck comes in 2 ways. Some will be sweetheart neck and some will kind of be a kind of C that is facing upward. So if it's the C that is facing upward, what you just do is start from the edge there and slant it, like cuff it exactly the way you're seeing it. You can see I'm cuffing it, but we are not going to be cutting it out, cutting this one out. We'll just cut out the sweetheart neck we already have, but I just showed us how to get the other ones that face up. So this is what we have now for the sweetheart neck and for the cape at the front. So you can see why we shouldn't make the depth of this part to be too down. Then after you've taken your dart from the down part, you will notice that this other part is going to be slack. It will be wider, so it's also advisable for you to also mark your darts there. You can see I came inwardly 3 inches and my dart, and the dart is about 0.2 on each side, which gave me 0.4, and I connected it. So that part I'm folding up is going to be cut out. Then I will recurve the other part so that it's going to be equal, and that's all for that. If you have watched this video to this point, thank you, and don't forget to like, and if you have any question, leave it down in the comment box below. And guys, don't forget to click on that subscribe button and on the notification bell, because I'll be posting more impactful tutorial in our next video. See you. Bye.